Good morning, this is Nomad Mobile Maintenance and Repair. We're just doing a little video of what we've got going on with your vehicle today. We're finishing up with that oil change. We're making sure that all that oil gets off the vehicle and gets cleaned off. Now there's some things that we noticed with the vehicle. As I'm sure you're aware and we mentioned, your tires, the tread life on those, they're at about 40 to 30 seconds, so I would recommend getting those replaced. The front brakes, I know that you had requested to get those replaced, but from what I'm seeing, we only have the noise most likely being caused by this groove on the edge of the rotors there. The pads, they're at about 30 seconds, so those pads are looking great all the way around. So if you want to do those brakes, that's still something we can do. We did get ultra quiet pads, and we do have the rotors, which I believe is what's causing that noise for you. Some other things that we found, if we go right here, we can see this lower control arm, that rose joint is tearing. I'd recommend getting the lower control arms replaced. And then if we look at this CV axle right here, we can see that grease is being slung all around from that boot right there. So I'd recommend getting that CV axle replaced as well. Now if we come up here, we'll just make our way across. The air filter is looking a little dingy. I don't know when the last time it was replaced, but we do have a good amount of debris in there. I would recommend getting that replaced, as well as I'd recommend getting the cabin filter replaced at the same time. I like replacing the cabin filter personally, just because I like cleaner air that I breathe. When we move over to the top here, you'd mentioned that you thought there might be an oil leak, and I believe what's happening, if we come up to the top here, we can see that this valve cover in the front is leaking. The rear isn't leaking really that bad. The rear we'd call maybe sweat, but the front I would say is leaking. And I believe, in fact, it's leaking from the top here. It's traveling its way down the back of the engine. It's really hard to see. And it's going all the way to the crank and then making its way back to the oil pan. So it's literally just coating the engine all the way from the front to the back in oil. So that's something that we are able to take care of. I'm recommending spark plugs. I don't know what your maintenance schedule has been for those, but I do like to replace those at 100,000. But if you've had them done, then I wouldn't even worry about it. The belts are looking good. All the joints are looking good. It looks like the shocks have been replaced all the way around, so that's not something that I'm too terribly concerned about. When we make our way back over to this side, same thing. That rotor has that lip on that edge, and I think that's causing your noise. And there's a little bit of grooving in there, but your pads are great. If we go over to this side, we can see that rose joint is even worse than the driver's side, but your axle is looking good. Overall, the vehicle is in really good condition. I hope that you have a great day, and thank you once again for choosing Nomad Mobile Maintenance and Repair.